Hey guys, just doing a quick review. I noticed there's not much out there on the Crossfire CFR300 4-stroke. So this is just a quick review of this bike. I've just bought it, picked it up last week. This one's got the recreational rego kit fitted with it for here in Victoria, so we can ride here in Victoria. So it's got the headlight, the tail light, the brake light, as well as a horn. That doesn't come with the bike. That's something that we need to add on down here extra. I've also added the bark busters and some new grips. Other than that, the bike's completely standard. It does have disc brakes front and rear. It's got the 300cc engine 4-valve, estimated about 27 horsepower from this one. It's air cooled, electric start, adjustable suspension front and rear, as well as overall just a good looking bike. It doesn't have kickstart, which can be a little bit of a pain if you have any issues with your battery. But other than that, I mean, we went out for a good ride today. There was a little bit of issue starting it in the beginning when it was cold, but that's probably just an air fuel thing. I can mess around with the carby a little bit. That's not a big deal. Other than that, there's not really much I can say from it. I upgraded from another Chinese bike, the TDR 250. I think it's the CJ 250 here in Australia. This is a major improvement on that bike. That bike cost me about 2,200. You've probably seen it yourself. That's cost me 2,200. By the time I got it all on the road with the recreational kit, it probably cost me about 2,600. This overall on the road, the bike, the kit, everything, it's cost me around 4.5. So there is obviously a substantial price difference between the two, but they're definitely in two completely different leagues. The power of this is fantastic. You can definitely get the front wheel up.
Give us some dollies.
First, second, no problem. You can power wheelie it, just give it a little pop and the front will pop up. So power wise, it's quite good. Perfect for me, perfect for what I use it for. The gears are very short, so I found that when I was on straight dirt roads doing the trails, I'd reach top speed very quickly. So by the time I work through the gears are very short. I'd say the top speed of it, if I had to take a guess, would probably be around 80. Maybe. Now that's not verified, but I was out riding with a friend who has a KTM 350, and he was doing higher speeds. He was doing, I won't say what speeds he was doing or where, but he was going high speeds and he was just leaving me for dead. So top speed, not the biggest, but then again, how often are you going to go 80 or 90 kilometers an hour out in the bush? You know, so more than enough speed, top speed. If you really wring its neck, you might even touch 90 or 100. But again, we're riding up in the bush, trails, fire tracks, four-wheel drive tracks, things like that. We're never really going to hit those speeds anyway. In terms of what I'm using it for, which is just having a bit of fun in the bush, hitting some trails, doing some wheelies, mucking around, things like that, it is absolutely perfect. The suspension was really good. Not too hard, not too soft, although again, you can adjust it. This is how it's come from the factory. So I probably will tweak a couple of little things. But other than that, I found that the brakes were really effective. The tires were good. I mean, it's like anything, you know, can you improve it? Sure you can. Can you put better tires? Can you, do little things you want to do to it? Tune the carby, etc., etc., play with timing, things like that. Sure you can, but this is just a review of the bike straight out of the box as it is. And I must say it is a major improvement over the TDR 250, which we have here in Australia, which is the other cheaper competitor Chinese bikes. We also have the Motorworks 250 as well. So if you're in the market for a cheaper Chinese sort of 250 to 300cc dirt bike, they're the ones you're probably noticing popping up between the Motorworks, Crossfire, the TDR, and there's probably one or two more out there. Yes, you're paying a little bit of a heftier price for this, but you get what you pay for. So I was riding the TDR for a while. I probably took it out. I probably put about 15 to 20 hours on it. Took it out for a few rides, and it was heavy. It was underpowered, very heavy. I'm talking up to about 138 to 140 kilos. And for a 250, that's pretty heavy. You know, this tops out at around 107 or 108 kilos. The TDR was about 16 horsepower. This is 27, so it's lighter, it's more powerful, just overall. And again, the seat height. So everyone always wants to know the seat height. The seat height on this is rated at about 930 mil. Now, I haven't measured that. I'm about 5'9", and the seat's just fine for me. So, and I'm sure if you really wanted to, you could get a lowering link to bring it a little closer to the ground. But for me, it's absolutely fine. Very capable, very surprised. As I said, major improvement over the other Chinese 250s. I have ridden both. I've ridden the Motorwork 250 and I've ridden the TRD, the TDR. Is it TDR? TRD? I think it's TRD 250. I have ridden both. And this is another league. It's just another step up. You might even be able to push this into the B category, to be honest, just simply because it has got fully adjustable suspension front and rear. You know, you have got your disc brakes front and rear. It's air cooled, so you haven't got that radiator there, having to worry about that as well. You know, you do have your electric start. It's not too tall for shorter riders like myself, about 5'9". I know there's people out there that are obviously a lot shorter, but it's perfectly fine. So if KTM, Yamaha, all those are in the A tier, I'd probably put this in B tier. Anything short of having a water-cooled motorbike, you'd be struggling to find something that for this price, I mean, at the price point of $4,000, you won't find another bike out there of any of the major brands that offer a 300 plus cc for under $5,000. They just don't do it. So for what you're paying for this bike, it is definitely worth its money, in my opinion. The other thing is, I'm coming from road bikes. I've ridden road bikes for many years. So transferring from road bikes onto dirt, this is the second dirt bike, rather the third dirt bike I've owned. And I've only been riding for about a year. So, and I must say, it's blown me away night and day how different this is, a step up from the Motorworks and the TRD. So anyway, I hope that helps, guys. I hope that gives you a little bit of information. If you're anyone like me that's looking for a good, cheap, reliable, carbureted, air-cooled, decent power, not too big, not too heavy, perfect for the trails or the track, whatever you want to do with it, good mid-tier bike, I honestly highly recommend this one. I would stay away from the TRD, the TDR. The Motorworks 250 is pretty good, I must say. That for the price you're paying for the Motorworks 250, I think it's around 2,200. It's actually a good little bike. It is a good little bike. If you just want a little bike to mess around with and your budget is, say, under $3,000 and you're tossing up between the TRD 250 and the Motorworks 250, I'd definitely go the Motorworks 250. It's shorter, it's lighter, and it's faster. I had some races. My cousin has the Motorworks. I had the TRD. On open roads, on tracks, you name it. It is just flat out faster. Probably by 1 or 2 horsepower, not a lot, but for what you're paying, it is lighter, shorter, and more powerful than the TRD. So if I had to lean between a cheap bike under $3,000, TRD, or Motorwork 250, I'd definitely go to Motorwork 250. I would put the TRD at the bottom of the list. But if you're ready to take that next step up to a 300 or something in that sort of mid-price range, say between $4,000 and $5,000, I would highly recommend this as a first bike or even an intermediate or expert rider. So I hope this helps and gives you a bit of information. Thanks for watching.